those violent extremists can't keep getting away with it. Who let those mentally ill, deranged radicals keep getting their hands on guns? They are ruining this country. Oh. Following the death of Charlie Kirk, our benevolent ruler and his viceroy have been calling on you to punish and hate those on the left for being violent extremists, even though Charlie Kirk was killed by a right-wing radical. The no evidence is definitive, as we know right now. The etchings on the case are consistent with an alt-right meme culture known as groypers, who believed very openly that Charlie Kirk was too far left for being willing to actually debate with people on the left rather than just openly hate them. The leader of the groypers, Nick Fuentes, has in the past orchestrated character attacks and public embarrassments of Charlie Kirk in order to discredit his standing in the right-wing community. That are all things that are true, while the right keeps digging up things that are fake about the killer that may or may not point to him being on the left, with no definitive evidence coming out on that side either. And then following this, our vice president, who I referred to as Viceroy before, took over his podcast for an episode to talk about his death, where he said something like this.
If I wanted to zoom out with Stephen a little bit and talk about all of the ways that we're trying to figure out how to prevent this festering violence that you see on the far left from becoming even more and more mainstream. A lot of people are very worried about how we got here in the first place. And you have the crazies on the far left who are saying, oh, Stephen Miller and J.D. Vance, they're going to go after constitutionally protected speech. No, we're going to go after the NGO network that foments, facilitates, and engages in violence. That's not okay. Violence is not okay in our system, and we want to make it less likely that that happens. Walk me through, at a high level, like what you and I have been working on, what the whole administration has been working on to try to make sure that we don't reward and promote this craziness.
The organized doxing campaigns, the organized riots, the organized street violence, the organized campaign dehumanization, vilification, posting people's addresses, combining that with messaging that's designed to trigger and incite violence, and the actual organized cells that carry out and facilitate the violence. It is a vast domestic terror movement. And with God as my witness, we are going to use every resource we have at the Department of Justice, Homeland Security, and throughout this government to identify, disrupt, dismantle, and destroy these networks and make America safe again for the American people. It will happen, and we will do it in Charlie's name.
And what was said here is almost correct. There is a dox website up, but it's not doxing the right wing. It's doxing people on the left who celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk, and people are actually losing their jobs for it. Some people, for example, like Jimmy Kimmel, didn't even say anything bad about Charlie Kirk. They just used it as an opening to talk about the failings of our president, who could have probably openly cared some more. And there are people who have openly said that the killing of a podcaster is wrong, but didn't want to discredit the fact that Charlie Kirk was a garbage human being. And those people are also losing their jobs. Oh, me too? Seriously? So as it turns out, that applies to content creators as well. Thankfully though, that site has since been taken down. I would also like to point your attention to this clip of J.D. Vance lying on live TV.
And while our side of the aisle certainly has its crazies, it is a statistical fact that most of the lunatics in American politics today are proud members of the far left.
Unfortunately for them, there's been a proven Department of Justice study that found quite the opposite, actually. That most violent extremists have been right-wing. That's been deleted from the archives of the internet. But thankfully, the University of Maryland had done their own study that I will use. But before we go into their findings, let me show you this clip from Fox News.
They have given billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
Yeah, Brian, why?
And following this broadcast, a homeless man was lynched in Mississippi. You might be thinking you know who it was, but that was another person that got lynched in Mississippi last week. And one of them, involving Trey Reed, a university student in Mississippi, was black, and it seems his murder was racially motivated. And some of you might think that that's impossible for our right-wing political leaders to call for such violence. But there are clips of our current right-wing political leaders saying shit like this.
This guy started screaming by himself, and they did, I don't know, rough up. Maybe he should have been roughed up, because it was absolutely disgusting what he was doing.
So if you see somebody getting ready to throw a tomato, knock the crap out of them, would you? Seriously. Okay? Just knock the hell. I promise you, I will pay for the legal fees. I promise. I promise. We're not allowed to punch back anymore. I love the old days. You know what they used to do to guys like that when they were in a place like this? They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks. Like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you. We having a good time? USA, USA. All right, yeah, get him out. Try not to hurt him. If you do, I'll defend you in court. Don't worry about it. In the good old days, this doesn't happen because they used to treat them very, very rough. And when they protested once, you know, they would not do it again so easily. Isn't it great to be at a Trump rally, really? Right? Part of the problem and part of the reason it takes so long is nobody wants to hurt each other anymore, right? I will call up Carrier, the president, because I have to do it myself. I know it's not.
Don't let the narrative be spun against the people who only want their right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Let the narrative be spun against those who transgress against us. Let the narrative be spun against the sinners that are trying to fatten themselves up for the eye of the needle. Don't let them forget that we are the ones that build America, and they are trying to starve us for their betterment. They're trying to treat us like a malignant cancer while they pit our systems against us like a virus. This is where information is power, as their lies are becoming more bold and easier to disprove. Do any amount of fact-checking, educate your peers, and make sure that they don't get away with lying to us. In theory, the right-wingers can be convinced about education and good faith, since, after all,
smart people don't like me, you know, and they don't like what we talk about.
Thank you so much for watching, and stay a fan.